Hi guys, how are you? This is Harry speaking. So I'll just get right into the thick of things. I don't like those videos that beat about the bush as well before they start. So today's video, as you can see from the topic, is called Dealing with Tokoloshies, aka Goblins or Goblins, right? So first and foremost, what is a Tokoloshie? A Tokoloshie, or they say Tokoloshie in South Africa, because I grew up in South Africa, is basically a mischievous little spirit or a demon that a lot of people deal with. Um, and it depends on what you did on how it's going to deal with you. For example, if you have dabbled into the occult and dealt with such things, this demon can actually attach itself to you or it can be given to you. Like an English word for this Tokoloshi is called a goblin. So a goblin, as you can see, we've seen even from the movies. If you are a Marvel fan, for example, if you have seen Spider-Man, you see the Green Goblin and whatnot. You see the way he looks, kind of demonic looking and so forth. Yeah, that's a goblin. But in nature, the way they actually look in real life, they basically really short, small human beings. They look like babies, but very old babies, like old people. So, for example, if you're from South Africa, you know what a Tokoloshie is. If you're English, it's called a goblin. If you're from countries like Indonesia, for example, it's called a tuyol or toyol. It's basically it looks like a small boy. So how would one get this kind of goblin? So say, for example, someone does something like a money ritual, all right? So say you want to get rich quick. By the way, that doesn't exist because there is no such a thing as quick money or fast money. It can only lead you to bad things. But say you wanted to get rich quick, all right? So you would go to somewhat like a sangoma. A sangoma is what they call a traditional healer in South Africa. When you hear traditional healer, you need to equate it to the word sangoma or inyanga. Some people call it a red garment prophet, a white garment prophet. In other parts of the world, it could be known as a shaman, or a dukun, or basically a witch doctor, someone who deals in the dark arts. In some cases, even things like psychics could also fall under that category. Well, you'd go to this kind of person, and then they'd give you certain conditions that you have to meet. Say they'll ask you, they'll tell you to, it might be something as simple as write down the names of your closest ones or the people that you love. Now, at this time, you might not know where this is leading to or what's going on. You know what I mean? But they'll tell you to do such a thing. So you write down your names, maybe that fold a little piece of paper, put it in a clay pot, and then the shaman or the sangoma would go ahead and start saying some things, invoking things that you know nothing about. Then as you do this and that, da da da, and then you'd be given maybe a little token or a little item or an ornament or something. It could be something like a stick, even like a plain old stick. You see, like the way I'm holding this pencil, could be something just like this. They give it to you, and then you'd be given more conditions. You'd be told something like, "Don't let your wife see this," or "Don't let this thing touch water," or "Don't let this thing see the light of day." So you'd always have to keep it in a dark place, like under your bed or in a closet or something like that. So you think, okay, fine, I've got this charm, this lucky charm, and I'm going to get money. All right. So you take this charm home, you put it somewhere, and yes, lo and behold, you start seeing money appearing. Sometimes it might come in your bank account out of thin air. But this is all an illusion, by the way, out of thin air. Or sometimes you'd wake up in the morning and just find money underneath your pillow. They'd never give you the amount of money that would actually like change your life or change other people's lives. But yeah, you might find, like, I don't know, depending on where you at, $300 underneath your pillow, could be $500, could be, if it's in rands, like 10,000 rands or something like that. But then this little charm, at times, it might transform itself. Sorry, it might transform itself into a little being, into a creature. Sometimes it might transform itself into a snake and so forth, but that's another story. But it might transform itself into a little being. Now, that's what I'm talking about today. It's a Tokoloshie. So Tokoloshie is basically like this little kind of creature. It's a demon. So the way you would appease this kind of demon, and by the way, only the person who went for this kind of consultation will be the one to actually see it. It wouldn't be visible to the naked eye to other people because they are apparently very fast, and mischievous and so forth. So this thing, for example, would be appeased by you maybe slaughtering an animal, a cow, maybe once every month or every 3 months. Could be a cow, could be a goat, could be a chicken, something like that. But as time progresses, this demon, this entity that you now have in your house that is now latched onto you and attached to you because you went for this consultation, this demon or this thing will start asking you basically for or demanding more and more blood. So it would go from something like slaughtering a chicken once a month to a cow. And then this cow would go to something like 2 cows, 3 cows, finally 3 cows and a goat. But then finally, this animal blood is not enough to sustain this thing because this thing is going out there and magically kind of getting you money. I'll explain that part a bit later. So eventually, this works up to human sacrifice, and that's where things become a little bit more and more sketchy. That's when you hear things like blood sacrifice and whatnot. So these things usually always end up in blood sacrifice. If it doesn't ask you for blood, it usually takes its payment in a form of sexual favors. So say if this being, this little creature you have in your house is kind of male by nature, it would therefore demand to have sex with any female in the house. So be it as it may be your wife, maybe your kid, maybe your mother, your grandmom, as long as it's a female. So this female will start encountering sexual dreams or sexual situations, where, she'd be sleeping, she'd feel like someone is touching her, someone's trying to have sex, very vivid, Sometimes they'd even wake up with some kind of discharge or very painful private parts. Sometimes it might be you. If you are a woman who went to sort out this male Tokoloshie, it might come and have sex with you every night. And that's how it gets paid, And his payment is not really about sex, Let's get one thing straight. So the bottom line is, whatever's happening there is you went out there, you illegally sought out this money. When I say illegally, I mean in a spiritual sense. You stepped out into the spiritual realm. You looked for blessings that were not of God, but from darkness. So therefore, a low-level entity or demon was attached to you, and therefore, it will require something from you. The devil does not give anything for free. Why? Because he's not a creator. He has not created anything, so therefore he has nothing to give. All he can do is steal from other people and give to you. You know what I mean? And he's going to require something back in return, and therefore it's going to be in forms of blood or sexual behavior. Now, when I say sexual behavior as well, because when people have sexual intercourse, there's an energy that is transferred. But in cases of a Tokoloshie or a goblin or a minion, tuyol, even in Japan, like in Japanese, there's a name that they call it. I just forgot about it, but you can look it up. It feeds on your sexual energy and therefore feeding on your life force. When I say your life force, I mean everything good that comes with your life force, with you being given life. Your destiny, your good fortune, your luck. So basically, you will be getting the money, but you'll realize that with this money come problems, and this money will never last. And in most cases, this kind of money cannot even be used to invest in things and so forth. So this is just one part of the series that I'm going to be breaking down. So this one was on Tokoloshies. You guys let me know in the comments what you think and what are your experiences. But I'm going to go further and further into this, And there's so much more. There's so many stories that I could tell you. And bottom line is, you cannot sell your soul to the devil, but you can make deals and pacts. And this is just one of the deals and pacts that people make. knowingly or unknowingly. And these things will never end up in your favor. They always end up bad. So if you're thinking about doing a money ritual or you've seen anything, you better think twice. I'll be back.